Hello students, in continuation of the refraction of light, today I'm going to tell you the applications of this critical angle and total internal reflection. The first one I would like to take today is here, field view of a fish. How the fish can see the outside world when it is inside the water. So the question is here, can it see the total world what we see outside? Even not the fish, if you are inside a swimming pool, can you able to see the outside world totally? So the answer here we are going to get here. So let us consider a fish here. So it is at a depth of, for example, H depth here. It would like to see, so it is a denser medium. Okay. Now the rays can go like this. Okay. Now it is going from where to where here, denser to rarer medium. So what will be the maximum angle here? It can see here. The maximum angle will be C. Here the maximum angle will be C. This becomes C. This becomes C. So if you imagine this in a three-dimensional one, then you are going to get what here? A cone of vertex angle 2C. That means a fish inside the water can see the outside world in the horizon of a circle or in the horizon of a right circular cone of a what here height h here. That means whatever the world is there inside the circle can only seen by the fish. Outside this one cannot be seen. Why? Because if the angle is increased further, what happens here? You know the angle will go what here? Total internal reflection. So therefore, the maximum angle of vision will be here, see only here. So if you increase that one, what happens? The total internal reflection takes place here and it cannot see anything here. Not only the fish here, even if a bulb is kept under the water, a bulb is kept under the water, how the light comes out of the water. So can we expect the total light to come out of the water? The answer is no. Here the water, the light will come out in the form of a circle outside only. It cannot spread over the total water surface. It can spread only on a circular horizon. And here our aim is to find the radius of this circular horizon, and also if you want here the H value, etc. also we can find. Now you see here, so because this is denser medium of refractive index mu, this is rarer medium, and this is one I'm taking here. So from figure, what is tan C equal to, we can write here. So tan C equal to R by H we can write. Then R equal to, we can write H tan C. R equal to H tan C. And you know the relation between mu and critical angle, that is sine C equal to 1 by mu. Means if you assume a right angle triangle, this is C, this is 1, this is mu, and this becomes a square root of mu square minus 1. Means tan C value becomes how much here? 1 by root over mu square minus 1. You substitute the value here, you will get R equal to H by root over mu square minus 1. So this is the radius of the circular horizon through which a fish can see the outside world, or the radius of the circular horizon through which the light can come out if a bulb is kept at a depth h below this one. And moreover, we can further extend this one. You know, for water mu equal to 4 by 3. If you substitute the value here, what you are going to get here? So 4 by 3 whole square. So what you are going to get here? So this is going to be what 3h by r equal to 3h by root 7 you are going to get here, because 4 square is 16 minus 9 is 7. and that 3 comes to the numerator. So the radius is given by 3h by root 7 for water here. That means question is here, even if it is asked a radius of the circular horizon, or sometimes it is asked to find what is the radius of a circular metal sheet required to cover the light coming from the water. That means if a bulb is kept inside the swimming pool and the water is coming out. So to cover that light, what is the radius of the metal sheet required? Circular metal sheet is required, and what is the radius of that one can be calculated by using this formula, that is R equal to h by root over mu square minus 1, and if it is water we can take 3h by root 7 here. Okay, so this is the field view of a fish, which is one of the application of here critical angle here. Remember, this is not only for fish, even a human being, if he is inside the water, cannot see the total outside world. He can see the outside world in a horizon of circle of a right circular cone of a vertex angle. How much here? 2c. Okay. So I told you applications of the total internal reflection. One is the shining of the diamond. The second one is the formation of the mirage. So in the mirage, what happens here on a sunny day? What happens here? The surface of the earth becomes very hot. The air layers in contact with the surface of the earth becomes hotter, and they becomes lighter, means they becomes rarer. But as you go up over the surface of the earth, what happens here? So the layers of the air becomes cool, and they becomes what here denser. Okay, now the light is coming from where here? From the top surface of the atmosphere, means it is coming from denser to rarer medium. If it is coming from denser to rarer medium, it falls like this, and here it bends away, bends away, bends away, because it is going from denser to rarer. It bends like this, and at a particular one, a particular layer, if the angle becomes greater than critical angle, what happens here? The light ray undergoes what here? Reflection, and that reflected light has all the characteristics of a light reflected from a water. Hence, if for a person standing here, he can see some water present there. Some water is present here. And this is only an illusion where we can assume that some water is present, but when you go there, nothing will be present here. So this is because of what here? Total internal reflection, and this phenomena is called as what here? Mirage. It's called what here? Mirage here. Okay. Now another important application of this total internal reflection, which made a revolution in telecommunications and this internet, is here optical fiber. Earlier, we don't have so many telephone connections or mobile phones and internet speed here. So this was done, and thanks to this optical fiber here, this optical fiber made life very easy. You are watching this in a internet, in a mobiles or computers, because of what here? The speed that is increased due to internet, speed of the internet increased due to this optical fibers here. So what is optical fiber? How it is going to work? Let us discuss this one. Okay. Optical fiber basically it has two parts here. Optical fiber basically consists of two parts here. So one is called as here core. The second one is called as cladding. This core is what here? Core is a cylindrical transparent tube, I can say. Cylindrical transparent tube here. So this is core, it is here. It's a cylindrical transparent tube here. This is surrounded by another layer which is not transparent here, and that layer we call as here cladding here. So this dotted one, this shaded one, we can call this as what here? Cladding, and the inner one I can take what here? Courier. This is courier, and this is cladding. And here, one more thing that we need to keep in mind is here, the core is having more optical density than the cladding. That means refractive index of core is greater than refractive index of cladding. For example, if this is mu1, this is mu2, the condition is mu1 is greater than mu2. Mu1 is greater than mu2. Then how it is going to work here? So by somehow a light pulse is introduced into this optical fiber at one end here. So it introduced here, a light pulse is introduced here. So it comes with angle theta here and it enters here. Here the theta value is adjusted such that it makes angle here which is greater than critical angle. If it is greater than critical angle between core and cladding, what happens here? Undergoes TIR. The same angle comes here also. So here also TIR takes place. The same angle comes here. Here also TIR. Here also TIR. Like that, what happening here? The light ray is undergoing TIR at every surface and moving forward without any loss of energy. As I told you, in total internal reflection, what happens here? The light is totally reflected. A small fraction, even a small fraction of light is not going to be lost. Total light, whatever is there, will be reflected back. So the same thing happening here. The light is reflecting, and you know one more thing, that is light travels with the speed of light, that is almost 3 lakh kilometer per second. So therefore, what happens here? The light pulse, whichever enters into this one, will travel from one end to another end in a flash of second here. And moreover, we can send as many waves as we want just by changing the frequency here. You can send one wave like this, another wave like this, such that so many number of waves can be sent simultaneously without overlapping. Just by changing the frequency, we can send a number of waves without changing, without overlapping each other. That means no disturbance comes here. So this is the importance of this optical fiber. So nowadays we can see the telecom department fellows digging the roads and laying some colored pipes. So what they are doing here, just they are laying what here optical fiber cables and they are connecting from one place to another place here. Remember, we have optical fiber cables from India to Europe through the oceans also here. Okay, so which will making us internet speed so high here. Okay, now so optical fiber, this is the construction working here. But the thing is here, what is this angle here, the theta? With what angle, if you send this one, then this total internal reflection occurs at this core cladding interface. So that is very important, and that angle is called as a launching angle. Launching angle. So let us derive the launching angle expression of this optical fiber. So launching angle of optical fiber. I'm just magnifying the figure. Okay, look at here. This is a light wave which is sent into the optical fiber from one end. The angle of incidence is theta. Here I'm taking R here. Here it is 90 for the TIR to occur. So this is 90 and this I. So for TIR to occur, this must be equal to how much here? This is R and 90 means I can write as what here? 90 minus R. And moreover, for TIR to occur, TIR to occur, this I must be greater than critical angle C. I must be greater than critical angle C. That is the first and foremost condition to have TIR here. Means I can write what here? 90 minus R must be greater than C. Okay, now apply sine on both sides. Sine 90 minus R greater than sine C, and sine 90 minus R is what here? Cos R must be greater than what here? Sine C. Okay, so cos R must be greater than sine C, and here I am applying Snell's law at first surface here. At first surface, here I am taking what here? This is mu, this is mu1, this is what here? Mu2. Okay, mu is what here? Refractive index of outer surface, and here mu1, mu2 is there. So at first surface, what I can write here? Mu equal to sine theta by sine r. Means sine theta equal to what I can get here? Mu sine r I am going to get. Mu sine r I am going to get. And here what I can write here? At core cladding interface. You know, sine C equal to what we can write. So this is denser medium, this is rarer medium. So what we are going to write here, this is mu2 by mu1, rarer by denser. Normally we write 1 by mu. Mu is the denser medium, 1 is a refractive index of air we can take. So sine C equal to mu2 by less mu1. So cos R equal to what we got here. Here, this is the condition we got. Okay. So cos R greater than what I can write here, sin C means here it is mu2 minus mu1. So at most conditions, what we can write here, sin theta max equal to mu, this sin R is there. Sin R can be written as what here, 1 minus square root of 1 minus cos square R. So I'm writing theta max. Theta max means this we can equate here. So what we can write here, sin theta max equal to mu of under root of 1 minus mu2 square by mu1 square. Okay. So what we are going to get here, sin theta max equal to, here we are having sin theta equal mu sin r, and here I'm writing mu under root of mu1 square minus mu2 square by mu1. Okay. Sorry, this is actually mu1 here because this is a denser medium. So mu1 here, here mu1, here mu1. So mu1 cancel out. So theta max equal to sine inverse of under root of mu1 square minus mu2 square we are going to get. Okay. So because it is coming from rarer to denser, this is rarer. So mu1 is there. So we can write mu1 equal sine theta by sine r here. So sine theta equal mu1 sine r. For core cladding interface, sine c equal to mu2 by mu1. So cos r greater than mu2 by mu1. For maximum, we can write like this here. So what is the condition? What is the condition for launching angle here? The launching angle should be equal to sine inverse of square root of mu1 square minus mu2 square. So if the light ray is introduced into the optical fiber with this angle, so it will undergo TIR at core cladding interface and travel with the speed of light and reaches to the other end quickly here. Okay, so this is a expression for launching angle, and in the next class I'm going to take up the concept of prism. That means a prism refractive index and also the condition for maximum deviation, maximum grazing incidence, grazing emergence, and also condition for no emergence, etc. We are going to take up in the next class.